Oh,
we're set.
All right. A very, very tense day here. Here we go. The Artie Quitter podcast again. So Ryan Reese here. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, thanks for having me back.
And he's becoming a regular. And, of course, Joe Matarese. What's up, Joe?
Hey, man.
So I'll try to explain this to you guys. A weird thing happened now with the show. There's a guy named Gerald, a black guy in Detroit, who's an original subscriber to the show. And he called up the first week. We took phone calls. Real nice guy. And he said he wanted to be the president of my black fan club.
Oh, yeah.
And
you talked about him last time.
So apparently, so far, it's just him, but he's working. But anyway, good guy. A couple of months ago, he said, I want to start doing stand-up. I think he's a middle-aged guy. And he said, can you give me any advice about my open mic jokes? And, we tried to help him out. So the other day, when was it, Friday or Saturday during the weekend, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
Okay.
Very late Saturday night.
It comes across that Gerald was in a bad car accident, and his brother was on Twitter telling people about it. And they showed a picture of his SUV in flames, like on fire, on the side of the road in Detroit. So, everybody's worried about him, and I texted him through his brother. I got his number. I texted him, you okay? He goes, yeah, thanks for the concern, blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, maybe we could talk to you on the air Monday. So we called him yesterday, and he starts talking. He goes, I'm at this hospital, and I just got out of ICU. Detailed stuff, like my leg broke below my knee. I'm on Klonopin. The morphine didn't work. All shit you'd think was legit. So today, I said to him, maybe, if you want to come out to the show when you get better, I can fly you out. You can sit in on the show, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, that'll be great. Today on Twitter, people are claiming that it's all bullshit, and he never got into the accident. And it's some people that I can't get into it, but I mean, they're definitely reliable sources. But now I'm starting to think there's a lot of odd things about it. The SUV, the picture of the SUV on fire, it did look sort of like stock to me, and they're saying it was stock footage of a car on fire, and it did look like that.
From Anaheim a couple of years ago. And the thing that, when I first saw it, I go, man, this is awful.
Wait, from Anaheim, so they knew a particular incident?
Yeah. I go, this looks awful sunny for Detroit.
Well, Detroit gets sunny.
Yeah, but not...
Sunny?
Yeah, November or whatever. But, I'm thinking there's a lot of holes in it now.
How can you tell if a picture's stock footage? I mean, what made them say that?
Well, no, I guess these people said they saw
They've
it
seen
before.
that picture before.
Right.
Well, the Hindenburg was falling on top of him. That's how we do.
Yeah, but he had all these details. Now, look, he gave the name of the hospital he's in. We could clearly just call the hospital. But do we know his full name?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
And you called him? But
We said we'll talk to you on the air.
you called his cell number.
We texted him.
Yeah, okay.
Not
You
the
can call
hospital. Right.
Okay.
We texted him.
Would the hospital
We
tell
should
you?
call the hospital.
Would they tell
That's
you?
the
if he was
thing.
there?
You know what? No, they won't. If you don't give permission, they will not tell you if someone's there.
Just ask if there's a black guy there.
In Detroit.
Not who doesn't work there.
Who doesn't have a gunshot wound.
Drove an SUV.
That's pretty racist.
It's also true. Another word for racist is true. So now I'm thinking, I don't know, but I said, well, okay, what is the joke? What's he going to get out of this? And they said, he's trying to get you to let him open for you. Okay, that looks. I look at that.
And he blacked out why would he black out the license plate to us? It was a private message. It wasn't on
that's
Twitter.
not his fucking car.
No, that's not a car accident.
No, you're right. Wow, that's weird. It looks like it's from a movie.
Yeah, but he had a real detailed. Yeah, was Ridley Scott in the area?
Did he hit a gasoline truck? Why is he?
Was Die Hard 6 being shot? So
And way too sunny. Too sunny.
No, it didn't. That was a good point.
What can people find out from having your license
Because it was
plate?
cloudy here in the East Coast. That's why I
Don't
thought
get
that.
mad, Dan. Jesus Christ, the anger.
I'm an idiot. And
Dan has such anger.
I
It was cloudy on the East Coast. What's the problem? No, go ahead, talk, Joe.
I was just going to say, what can people find out by having your license plate? Because I tweeted accidentally
Everything.
my car with my
Everything.
license plate once. I put on Twitter, I'm like, what am I, an idiot? How did
Any cop could
it was
run
in
it.
a distance, and I'm forgetting you can zoom in on a picture.
They can find whatever they want about you. Everything. A cop, they know a cop, he runs the plate.
They can't steal your money. I mean, they can't get your can't get into your fucking bank account.
I don't know. What do you? I
They'll
don't
just know where you live. They can find out your address and go hang out in front of your house.
Do you really think someone's getting into your bank account?
With your license plate?
No, I'm just saying I have no money, so I'm just wondering.
That's their big hit.
What bank do you belong to? You have to give your license plate number.
You don't.
No, you don't. No, I'm saying there's way. No, I'm sure there's guys, computer savvy guys, who could hack into it and maybe get whatever from you. I don't know.
Well, that's like back to your story. That's just a fucked up move. If someone was going to make up, that's just weird.
Well, I said, what's he hoping to get out of it? And the people say, oh, he's trying to get Artie to let him open for. He wants to open for Artie. I'm like, that's the end game here?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't I find out? I don't know.
It's similar to that comedian who lied and said he was in 9/11. You know, he was in the tower.
That's a real mental problem, man. To say that is like, I guess maybe you could say I'm trying to get laid, but that's a weird thing.
I think it's a career. It's like this. He's trying to get stage time. What a comedian will do for stage time is ridiculous.
Well, but lying about 9/11, that is fucking, because if you get found out, that's a major, nobody likes you. That's
But
not
the wife went along with it.
She
I'm
did- she
more curious.
did?
What did she get? She's not going for stage time. She just went along with
Well,
it.
maybe she thinks, he's like, look, honey, go along with this. You're going to get the money too. I mean, come on. Clearly, I get a deal out of this.
I was surprised. 2 days later, Comedy Central aired his brand new special.
Of course
I was
they did.
surprised they didn't wait a little while.
Well, maybe it was, good promotion. They figured,
It must have been.
just awareness. That's all people are looking for. Now, well, like, again, there's lies and that people might find likable. Like I told you, this is in L.A., I made out with a chick one night. I told her I wrote Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's not harmful.
I'm proud of that.
You get laid out of it. You got to lie to get laid when you're young. That's the move.
She was a blonde. She had kind of like a German type accent. And that bar called La Coloniale in Beverly Hills. And I was there with a couple of people. I didn't like it there. And she goes, "What do you do?" And I said, just to get her away. I said, "I'm a writer, And she goes, "What did you write?" I said, "Jurassic Park." Like just thinking she'd laugh. And she went, "Oh, clearly she believed me." She started telling her friends. And I just went with it. I made out with her in front of her fucking building.
I'm just wondering, Dan, you think Artie's at a level of fame now? Well, girls will lie to fuck him.
What do you mean?
Will a
As far
girl
as-
lie to fuck you?
About what?
I don't know. What could a girl do to get? What could make a guy want to fuck her? If you're like a famous guy,
Well, who's got? I said, well, if you're a hot chick, you don't have to. Let me save you the fucking energy, honey. I'll fuck you. You don't have to lie.
well, you gotta lie if you're in the middle there. If you're like a fucking 6, she's gotta lie. Like,
There ain't enough lying.
I give amazing. Do you ever hear girls will say like, I give great blowjobs?
Yeah, that's what you want to hear.
She's the head of HBO.
Exactly.
She wants nothing more than to blow you.
Yeah. Okay, Artie. I guess you don't want your own show on Showtime.
Is there any? Is there ever? It's gonna sound. This is a weird subject, but I think this is a good conversation. You ever been with something about a girl that she's not that attractive, but something about her you're like, I don't want to fuck her. Like something can like sway you.
What, you mean non-physical? Like something
non-physical.
about her life?
Yeah, maybe. Or her personality,
She could
or
get me to the
what she
front of the
does for a living.
If she get me to the front of the line of the DMV, at this point,
Well, I actually understand why guys want to like fuck, or musicians, because I can remember seeing some girls.
Why a chick wants to fuck a musician?
No, like I would. I can remember times where
You'd
like this,
fuck a
like
guy?
I seeing a girl
Oh,
that
chick-
wasn't that hot, and then she went up and sang, and she was really good.
Wait,
and I was
okay,
like,
so
wow,
you're saying
I
a
want to
chick
fuck her
musician?
now. Yeah.
I thought you meant a guy.
No.
Like who? Who are you thinking about?
I'm thinking
Lady Gaga.
I could think of times where I had to do those NACAs when you would go to these college NACAs to perform to try to get college gigs,
That would
and they
break.
would have the acoustic girls go up a couple different times. I can remember a girl. They weren't ugly,
Like a Lisa Loeb type.
Yeah, they weren't ugly, but something about
Sexy.
their performing
Well,
made it sexy. Yeah.
I know a few comics that specifically only fuck ugly broads.
Really?
Because they like that, and they're not bad looking dudes. They just like being like having a girl worship them.
Oh.
You know,
they want to
you're
be
amazing. You're so hot. Oh my god, they love that shit.
They usually do more,
yeah. Oh yeah.
don't you think?
Oh God, the chick. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
to please you, sure, absolutely. The uglier, absolutely.
My wife actually got pissed at me. This is a classic moment. I had a friend. It was Eric Lydon. You know Eric Lydon?
Yeah. No.
Eric Lydon is married to a very hot Asian
with-
girl.
Yeah.
2 kids.
But when he was and he's got 2 kids, and he was just single, and he was like, Stephen Scott. Stephen Scott was another one. They just would always show up with models. You're like, how the fuck are you with a model every time I see you?
Yeah.
But Eric Lydon would get really fucking smoking hot girls. And
that is annoying.
I'm on the phone with him one day, and my wife was listening. I didn't know she heard me. I go, dude, because he's going, I want a relationship. I'm at that point, He's like, I kind of want a relationship, and I go, all right, well, I go, you got to stop fucking 10s. I go, dude, why don't you find like a nice 7 who's got a really good personality, who's like cute? And my wife looks at me when I got off the phone. She goes, what's that? What's that supposed to mean? And I go, what do you mean? She goes, I'm not a 10. And I'm like, no, like you're not. I'm not. I go, you're a 10 to me. She goes, that's what I meant.
I know
That's what I
you
meant.
opened up a conversation there.
Yeah. But
what did she say?
I said, we're not both. We can't model for a living. I tried to like bring sense to it. I'm like, we're not models.
I find women are very rational in that area.
Yeah, no, they're not.
You can
No,
totally
she
explain
wasn't.
your way out of that one.
They'd rather hear. Would a chick rather hear she's not smart or not good looking?
I always like. Well, I just.
If you had to be honest about one of those things with a woman, would she rather hear she's less smart or less good looking?
Less smart.
less smart, probably. Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree.
How many
completely.
times in your life have you called a woman an idiot? How many times have you been like, "You're ugly, you're ugly"? You
Never-
you call those tits? God, jeez.
I actually like girls that are kind of hot but have like a flaw. Like I don't know why. I find that
The
hot.
flaw is they like me.
I like girls with big. I like girls with big noses. My wife has a big nose. I've told her, and I fucking like it. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're called Jews.
I have a big nose. I don't know. I find it. I like girls
hot
with
chicks
fucking
are
big
always
noses.
messed up, man. It's called saving strippers.
Ab-
You meet
no,
this hot girl,
yeah,
and you're like, I'll
absolutely.
fix her. I'll fix whatever's wrong with
Like
her.
a
And you-
fucking weird arm or something. I like that.
You
Like,
definitely know
You got a shot.
You definitely know you got to a certain level with women, like in show business, maybe where you feel like a good-looking guy, where you get tired of dating a hot chick, and you like I've broken up with women. Like I've actually said to a woman, you know, you're going to get bored with the sex, and I'm already bored with the conversation.
Right.
So this ain't going to work. But I agree. At any circumstance, a woman would rather say, "Look, I'm hot. I don't care if I'm stupid."
But you fall into that category. You've had very, very attractive girlfriends, like
Yeah.
the excessive, like model, like girlfriends.
A couple
lots
of them. Yeah.
And
Well, because I got to a certain, again, I was not a ladies' man at all before this business, but I was always able to talk my way into, like, my high school girlfriend was good looking, definitely, you know, and, I always did all right. But when I got to a level where I'm like, okay, I have some celebrity and some money, I was like, why even look? It's gonna sound so terrible. You know, why not just go for a hot chick, the hottest chick? I mean,
Absolutely.
sure,
but
Yes.
you know,
But
of course,
then you
I'll
always-
probably die alone. No, I mean,
but then you always have to. I always feel like you got to give something away. They never are fun to be around.
No,
like they're
there's-
just
no.
fun to fuck.
Yeah, no, but that's the
Terrific.
The last couple were that wasn't the situation.
Right.
What I found that I gave away was a $40,000 ring.
Money.
You know, and a couple of missing autograph posters. No, you're right. Actually, Adrian was actually a lot of fun to hang out with. She represented a different type of thing, but there were a lot of chicks who were good looking and they're nightmares. They're absolute nightmares. Because,
Did you ever have to apologize for, let's say, their behavior to like
yes,
someone?
all the fucking
they're
I get to apologize to a bouncer, like, I'm sorry she was rude to you.
all the time.
They're rude.
You live in their world and you go, my God, I'm in a good looking person's world. I see how they act to people. And I have to go, I'm sorry. You know, and I've had women go, "Why are you apologizing? You're famous." I go, "So it's you're allowed to be an asshole because you're good looking." They're totally like, "Yeah, just be an asshole."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also funny what you'll put up with when a
Oh,
girl's
my
really
God.
like. I have put up with shit, and I look back and go, what kind of fucking asshole was I that I let that fucking behavior just
It'll
go?
drive you
go?
crazy. Yeah.
You get I've picked girls up from the hospital that have been hypochondriacs. Like they're super hot, but they're just messed up in the head. Like, you're on your way to the hospital. You're like, why am I doing this? And
Yeah,
then,
that's it. Why?
You're on the street with them, and some
Yeah.
guy goes, "Bro, is that your girl?"
Right.
And you're like, "Yeah,
That's why.
that's why."
Yeah.
I had this hot girl. I used to had a joke about her years after, but like she would make every guy think they had a shot. It was so annoying.
Well,
I was
that's-
like, why
that's-
do you flirt with everybody? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I've known several chicks like that. where
Yeah.
They go, and with me again, I've said my self-esteem is like if they're willing to fuck me, they'll fuck anything breathing. So my competition is every living thing in the world. You know?
Yeah,
Like
I think I'm
said,
too insecure to have that hot of a
Like
girl.
if we're at a party and they're talking to a dog too long, I'm like, what was with you and Buster? What was with you and Buster? What? I like Buster. Well, Buster's I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know. Are you going to see him again? I might see him again.
I'm also too.
He lives in the building.
Oh my god!
Are you that insecure about Buster?
Dude, I'm so
Did you
insecure.
see Artie with binoculars up here looking at the dog park?
No, but Joe, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm too insecure for a girl to bring another girl into the relationship. Like I could fuck a girl with another girl that I wasn't into, but I remember dating someone that might have had lesbian tendencies, and I it's like I can't do it. It's weird
because it's not just the threesome; it's the world it might open up.
Yeah, you think they'll just become. Oh, I remember in that. Did you see the movie Lenny?
Yeah, with Lenny Bruce,
with
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know if that was a real or they added that for the movie.
No, a lot of it was. That's supposedly the most accurate depiction of his. You know.
Well, his wife. He brought another girl in.
Right.
She fucks a girl, and then he goes, called her a whore, and then divorced her.
Well, that's a classic. That's a classic junkie insecure,
Really?
crazy move.
He just
But
dumped her.
Richard Pryor did the.
Same thing?
Did you see the JoJo Dancer movie?
Yeah, I don't remember it though.
He forces her to go to a party, a 70s LA party. Where, there's blow all over the place. She doesn't want to go, and he's like, nah, let's hang out with these people. And he passes out, and he wakes up, and she's in bed with the guy who owns the house and another chick, and he sees it, and he gets mad at her. He punches out the guy, and she's like, I thought you wanted this, And he's like, yeah, I wanted you to fuck the guy. But she got those signals from him.
Right.
It's the world of like that sort of, you might open up a dangerous world. Yeah.
Right.
And if you're really into the girl and love her, then then it's a nightmare, man. Joe DiMaggio fell in love with the town pump, Marilyn Monroe. Never was happy again, really.
I actually have a friend of mine that I grew up with that had that relationship with his wife, and they're still together.
Where
they're
they
the
could do threesomes.
Yeah, they're the only ones I've ever seen able to pull this off. They're still married.
There's
they
a
have
lot
kids.
of people like that. I mean,
This guy had a stripper pole in his fucking bedroom. In his bedroom.
That's another. That's
he
a
built
good
one.
How do you explain that to the kids?
There's nude pictures of his wife on the walls. Dude.
That's not.
I'm
but
telling
come on,
you,
that's not a healthy.
odd.
There's something dark about that.
He's the greatest dad ever. It's odd, man.
Let's see what his kids grow up to be.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What do they say the
What club
pole
are
is
they
for?
going to work
I
at?
don't know. There's a pole in the bedroom with a fucking like a light show.
Like you see your 3-year-old daughter, she's already on the pole because it's in your bedroom.
He has all boys.
Oh, okay.
That helps. No daughter.
All boys on the pole.
Yeah,
Terrible.
that could hurt too.
Terrible.
Who knows what rumors that could start? I don't know. Again, there's in the 80s and 90s, early 90s, when we our age, it was that cocaine world, whatever. Now there's young people with this MDHA, the Molly rave thing, these
Ecstasy.
like DJ Tiesto, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah,
EDM,
right. They go
electronic.
for those. That's a whole different world of like, okay. Like I feel old when I hear about that world, whereas
Dude, I'm so old. I never heard of it. What
you know what I mean? Raves.
Just raves.
Yeah.
Does that still
Yeah.
exist?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they call it something different now, but it's
Well, everything changed names.
electronic music
Ecstasy
festivals.
became Molly, right?
Yeah.
Now Molly is the same as ecstasy. I never
Yeah,
even heard of
same exact
Molly.
thing.
MDHA.
And
What
MDMA.
is it?
That's the chemical. It's
Okay.
ecstasy. Yeah. I remember the first time I took ecstasy. Like I said, it was around 1993. I got off stage at the comic strip, and another girl comic gave it to me, and we walked to the Sound Factory on the West Side.
Oh, you've been to the Sound Factory?
Oh, years. We used to go there every once in a
What's
while.
that? Dance
I was
club?
there, yeah, I was there
In
every
my,
weekend.
in my, in my,
Really?
Yeah. I spent a lot of
Were
time
you
there.
really?
I did a techno singer. It
Oh,
was
you
good.
oh you did.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, man. That's before comedy.
Well, this was like early '90s, early to mid '90s, right before I moved to LA, and it was an odd scene. But I remember when the first time I took ecstasy, I said they perfected drugs.
Oh, fantastic.
That first high on ecstasy, I've been chasing it ever since. I'm like, this is, you take a pill. You don't have to go in the stall and do a hit off your key every 5 seconds. You don't have to shoot, take this, whatever the fuck, smoke. You just take the pill like you're taking a vitamin, and for 12 hours, you feel like, the king of the world. I said,
You might need more than one, but yeah.
the first time you don't though. Like the
nothing
first
fun.
high, I remember we walked to the Sound Factory. We walked across town, and we were like making out. I was shaking hands with homeless people, going, "How you doing?" You know, like,
Dude,
hugging them.
That's literally across town. That's from east to west and 40 blocks.
We
on top of that.
walked
That is,
to the Sound Factory.
that is
What
a
does it give you?
2-hour walk.
Beautiful May night.
What's it give you? A
the
ton
first
of
time?
energy and just
No.
makes you really happy?
Well, it's a combination of like there's opiate qualities in it and speed, and it's just a perfect sort of speedball kind of high. But yeah, you get initially I got energy from it. Yeah, sure. And then but you get very like you're affectionate. You're you know
Really?
I was crazy on it for a couple of years. I couldn't
feel like
stop.
you're having an orgasm.
Is it addicting?
Pretty much.
I mean, is
Pretty
it an
much.
addicting? Is there
Yes.
a withdrawal from it?
No, not
Yeah.
like heroin. No, but when you come down from it, it really can be scary. I had some bad come down. When I got used to it, when I would go to Vegas, I'd take like 9 hits some nights, and you can't drink on it because you got
Oh, you can.
Well, you can, but
Oh, you can.
I did, but I mean, you got
No,
technically
not.
you're not supposed to. You
So
have to
did I.
hydrate.
Well, the
And-
liquor, in my opinion, I think the liquor balanced out the ecstasy. Like if you
Right.
were if you were tripping too hard, you would have a drink and it would.
Well, there
let
were
you
some
out.
nights, and I'll tell you, I've done every drug there is. There were some nights where the come down from ecstasy was scary. And being in Vegas, like 9 o'clock in a strip club in Vegas, and you walk outside and the sun's out like that fucking crazy thing. You're up all night and you're around dark people. Like, you know, I mean, not black people. I mean,
Do you feel really
Bad people.
really really depressed?
they could be light skinned. They could be white people.
Well, I'm from Long Island, man, and around '99, like we were high school, college. We all heard like, oh, you go to the city and you take ecstasy, and the girls just fuck you. Like that's what we were told.
Really?
So you were like, what? Why? And like, the drug makes them want to fuck. So just go to the city.
Yeah,
They'll
this
fuck
chick
you.
fucked me at the Sound Factory.
Just
I
go to the
bought her. I
factory.
bought her drinks all night, and then she fucked somebody else. I got fucked.
And that's it's always a girl. It's always a girl
No,
who's like,
she
you
was-
should do this with me, and you're like, okay.
That first one was a chick.
Always.
I made plan. I said, okay. She goes, get ready. I said, we're doing it. You know.
And how much would it cost to
20
get one of
bucks.
those? 20 bucks.
20 bucks,
That's it.
unless you buy in bulk.
And it's 12
the
hours.
first one was
high?
the first one was
Great.
free.
3 hours high.
She didn't charge me anything, but for me, it felt like for about 12 hours, I felt good. And I ended up going home. I didn't fuck her. She ended up. I went to the bathroom. She was like dancing and making out with some guy who looked like a model. That pissed me off. And then I walked back to my car. No, I walked back to the Port Authority because I had to take the bus home. And I ended up like jerking off to an episode of like WKRP Cincinnati. I was by myself in my basement. My mother's upstairs making chicken parmesan. I'm jerking off on ecstasy to Lonnie Anderson. So anyway.
There's your
Les
anti-drug
Nessman.
commercial right there.
It sounds great.
You never tried it.
No, it's making me want to try it. Like, it's worse than a
don't.
hangover. Way worse than a hangover the next day.
Paranoia.
I have plenty of friends that around the same time we tried the same thing. They went a way different direction.
Well, I was going to say,
They come
what
back.
yeah, what happened with some of your friends? They went off on like
Big.
their life changed.
Yeah, for me, when I did it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I should probably not try anything else. Because I knew how much I liked that.
Right.
I was like,
That's a very mature way to think, man. It is. I mean, you got to be strong.
My other buddies bumped up the game.
Oh,
know
you
what
mean
I
they
climbed
bumped
the ladder?
And what happened in life to them? I mean, like, you know, I don't have to get into too detailed, but it affected
I
their
got,
life. in
I
a
got
bad-
one friend. I don't know what his story is. I see him randomly around the city selling Metro cards. and
Really?
Subway.
Oh, well,
And
that's-
we're
that's-
his father was like a cop. Like he's from like and you're like what the hell is this?
Sad stories, man.
Yeah, can go bad on you.
There's an episode. There's a book called Exile on Main Street: A Season in Hell with the Rolling Stones about the summer of '71 when they were in the south of France doing the album Exile on Main Street. And the darkest part of the book is. The guy did research in an unbelievable way. This guy, what his fucking name is, Robert. I'll get his name because he wrote 5 of the best Rolling Stones books. You know the story about Exile on Main Street? They had to leave because of tax reasons. They had to leave London because they were broke, and they went to they had a deal and they went to the south of France because they couldn't do it in London because of taxes. It was still 90%. And Keith Richards rents a villa on the water in the south of France, and they do the album that summer in the basement. They write it and record it, and it's one of the, still Rolling Stone has it like the 4th or 5th best album ever. And it's like a double album. But right before they went, Keith Richards found out Mick Jagger was fucking his wife. So the record company, that's the drama of it. The record company said, oh, we're going to lose this money, and they went anyway, and in a very passive-aggressive way, Keith Richards did the album, but really fucking with Jagger's head the whole time. And never, to this day, according to the book, has confronted him about it. like the English were like kind of stoic like that. He never mentioned you're fucking my wife. The wife was in the house.
He just divorced her, or he's still married?
No, they stayed married. She
Stayed married.
came to the house. They had a kid together. And Jagger got married Bianca that summer. You know, it was all incestuous.
Right.
But
That's a lot of all the guys I knew.
Robert Greenfield is the guy's name. Yeah.
All the guys that I knew, well, not all the guys, but I knew a few guys growing up that were like in rock bands, and they just used to have these fucking all rock star parties at their house,
Right, yeah.
and they would all fuck each other's girlfriends and shit. And I remember not being.
I can't get into
I was like,
that
how?
stuff.
What are you doing? Like,
I've never been secure enough to
No,
do that.
no.
But I mean, but anyway, so what you were talking about people's lives going a different way. Like the darkest part of the book is, you know, Keith Richards. Another part of the book is how Keith Richards is like an infection. He gets people addicted to heroin, and their lives go to shit. And because he's a Rolling Stone, he's got money, and he's able not to go down those dark paths. But the guy somehow found out there was a couple of chicks that were with him that summer, young actresses who were like 21 years old, and they get involved with the Stones. They get addicted to heroin and Mandrex, these speed pills. And the guy finds out what happened to those girls. And he said, like Greenfield says, if you want to know how Keith Richards and the Stones could affect people's lives, he goes, look what happened to some of the people that dined with the Rolling Stones that night. They were having dinner. And he said, take this actress. There were 3 names he mentioned. And all of them went, from that summer, left the Stones. Like they moved on, were left behind. And one girl ended up in Kabul shooting morphine, and like they found her back in London, homeless, hitting her head up against a brick wall to where her face wasn't recognizable. Like she kept hitting her head like that, and she ended up in an insane asylum and died there. And 2 other girls had overdoses, and the one other girl became like a homeless beggar and died of like on the street. Like that's where they went because they got involved with the Stones. They got turned on to heroin, and they weren't Keith Richards. Like it was really, I was like, wow, my God, like there's somebody's kid. You know what I mean? Like you think about, like you said, the guy's father was a cop. There's somebody's kid, you know, and that really bummed me out. And when I hear stories about the drugs, I go, like I was curious, like what do you mean your friends went in a different direction?
Yeah, but I mean, like I think we whatever decisions we made on our own.
Right.
There was no Keith Richards.
But you clearly, no,
Like,
that's what
hey,
I'm saying.
try
But you
this.
clearly liked it, and you were smart enough, and
I was
strong
a shy
enough not
kid,
to.
man.
Yeah.
I was a shy guy. I didn't have any girlfriends.
Well,
and
you
this
really-
just kind of just expanded.
Were
my
you
life.
still heavy at this point when you?
Just lost the weight.
Okay.
Just lost the weight.
So
Still
your
had
world is changing. You lose the weight. Now you're a different guy. And, Yeah.
no idea how to talk to people,
Right.
or women. Like whatever sense of humor I had as a bigger guy did not translate.
Well, of course you're a different. Think about it. The world's a
bad.
different angle.
Bad news.
And what about when did you try stand up? Like, what made you get into that? Did you always want to do it?
Always wanted to do it, and actually, that's one of the reasons why I was like, I got to stop partying because the hangover was getting too much for me.
So it was a problem. Like you were. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be able to do stand up. I
Right.
wasn't gonna be able to like get on stage if I was gonna be partying until like from Friday night to like Sunday at noon.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's the big thing with people in life. Even not just stand up. Eventually, a lot of people, especially from this generation, they don't want to make that decision. Eventually in life, you got to stop. You got to if you're gonna do anything productive, you got to stop and fucking do it. Like you got to get up and be places. Show business, if you have success early, and this is what happened to me, unfortunately, I was allowed to keep living like a big kid because I started making money in my 20s, and I threw money at situations, and I never had to get clean. But in any other world, I would have had to, either get clean or you're going to become like one of those guys you're talking about. It's just, you're not going to make it.
Well, no. I mean, I wanted different things. I could have stayed on Long Island and gotten some town job or some other like local thing. And
But
just
was that like a nightmare? See, to me, that was like staying in town. It was a nightmare.
I wasn't going to do it, but it's like you work Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday for Saturday night.
Right.
That's all you're living for.
Right.
Of course, there's a couple of nights during the week sprinkled in. where
Well, right, exactly. But then you get to an age where even the Saturday night is not as fun as it used to be, and then you're living for nothing, unless
then you get married, you get a house.
right.
Hate her. have
That
kids.
always works.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Is that our phone? Who is that? Is that Gerald? Is he on fire? The biggest fucking fear to me was staying in town, becoming what you just that life. Like Joe, did you have that? Like staying in Cherry Hill and not?
Oh yeah.
Is a part of why you wanted to. to be a comic. It was a way to get the fuck out of,
I wasn't a guy that hated where I lived growing up,
Right.
but when I go back now, once I moved to New York
can't go-
City
you
and
can't
I
go
saw
back.
what was out there.
Nah, New York is, you can't go back from New York.
Jesus, like when I go back, like I know Gaffigan has like a lot of funny bits about going back to your hometown.
Well, he goes to
like, when you live in
Indiana.
New York, they're like, "Look, what are you?" Like I used to get that a lot. Like, well, look at you. What are you wearing? Like I would start to dress. Like I remember, like
Were they mad at you because
they
like,
would just, yeah, they would give me
projected
shit. They would give me
anger.
shit. Like, and I used to go, well, you're dressed like shit. Like, this is like fashion. Like, I remember when it was in, everyone had the leather like Donnie Brasco jackets.
Well,
with the fucking
that
like
was in-
70s leather.
That was in for you.
The 70s leather.
Dude, when I met you, that's all you wore.
That's all I wore.
I can my first memories of Joe Matarese are around 94, 95, talking to you in the front of Stand Up New York by the bar, and you in that jacket. That's
Yeah,
all I can
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
That leather jacket.
Yeah. But a lot of dudes had them, and I would go back to Cherry Hill, and they would just be like, "What the fuck are you? What are you, Donnie Brasco? What the fuck?"
I'm wearing what Stu Kamen wears.
And I used to go like, "Dude, you have a flannel tucked into your jeans. Like no one's doing what you're wearing. Nobody. Like
Well,
I
now
used
they're
to give
doing
them
it in
shit.
Brooklyn. So maybe
Exactly.
they were ahead of the time.
No.
See, I was the rare person that got into show business and still had the flannel tucked into the jeans. I stuck
Yeah, the white sneakers.
But again, you got, was it depressing for you to see those guys?
Well, it's still like I'm going home this week to perform in Philly. Like I got
Right.
a few gigs down there, and it's definitely they're all the guys I grew up with. They're all still down there.
Yeah.
The one thing though I sometimes get jealous of, I'm like, they live in nice houses for like nothing. Like so I get that. I'm like,
But they gotta
do
be
I-
there.
Do I need to be here? I always think, why don't I just commute? I could live down there.
Well, you go through that thing of like if I moved to Mississippi, I could be, I could have like a fortress. I could have an Elvis's house.
Yeah, that's what Chappelle did. He moved back to Dayton, Ohio.
But there's a guy, think about that, the money. I mean, he could have a penthouse apartment in Manhattan.
I know.
He's got that kind of
you should
scratch.
see what the house is in Dayton. Can you imagine?
Yeah, he tells me about it sometimes. It's like it is like enormous, like a Graceland or something.
Yeah, him and John Legend are neighbors.
Is that true?
Yeah, John Legend's his neighbor.
What's the odds of that? I remember doing a construction job of my uncle in like 1987, and it was in Englewood, New Jersey, and we knew Eddie Murphy lived there, and we said to the guy we were working for at the end of the day, we said, "Hey, where's Eddie Murphy live? We might want to drive by." He goes, "Go down there to Johnson and make a right, and you'll see it." We go, "How do we know?" He goes, "You'll know. You'll see it." So we make a right. Out of nowhere, slowly comes a wall. This big wall starts going up into a gate, and a big white gate with a security guard inscripted says Eddie. And on either side it said Bubble Hill. The nickname was Bubble Hill. And it was two plaques. I guess that meant a party, bubble. I don't know what that means. Again, it's Ebonics. But I guess that's literally what it said, Eddie. You'll know. I don't know.
To me, the number one thing when I go back to like South Jersey is because it's nice down there. Like it's exploded since I grew up.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not the sticks.
But everywhere, I guess nowadays, it seems like you go everywhere. Everything's fucking built up. And every town that used to suck, you go now and you're like, Jesus Christ, there's 400 great restaurants.
Everything
there's
looks
bars.
like L.A. Everything looks like a strip mall. You know what I mean? Cheesecake Factory, blah, 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 everything. you know?
Yeah. But like the one thing is when you come to New York, which is really cool, is there's all these fucking artisticness, and that doesn't exist in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You meet people, no one's fucking doing some risky creative job. Like they're all fucking doing they're doing the regular.
Right.
Like a friend of mine used to say anyone can work for a living. One of the comic friends, I remember doing open mics with him. He used to go, dude, anyone can work for a living. Like we're doing something fucking crazy. We're not working. This is not work.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then when does that attitude still the same when you're 45?
I still remember.
Anyone can work at 45.
I also remember that same guy's name was John Matta. I started out with him, and he was a funny fuck. And I remember I had a friend who I grew up in Cherry Hill, and he called me on the phone. He goes, "Dude, you want to get some of your comedians? Any of them need to make money?" I go, "Yeah, they all need to make money." He goes, "I got like a day job where they just fucking shove cigarettes in cartons. That's the job all day. You stuff the cartons."
Yeah, there's a lot of comics who want that job.
So this guy John Matta went and did it with another comic he knew for the day, right?
Yeah.
I think it was like $10 an hour he gave him. And the guy I knew from Cherry Hill comes over and goes, "You can use this, right?" He was serious. So he goes, "You can put this in your act." And John, I'll never forget it.
Well, I had a lot of guys like that.
John Matta looks at him and he goes, "The only thing funny about this is there's nothing funny about this." And I thought it was the funniest. I go, "Dude, that's fucking hilarious."
Yeah. Well, no, it's
Where's
true.
John
This
now?
blows. He's in L.A. I don't know what he's doing. He had it's weird how you can remember jokes from like, I remember day 2 of open mic. I'm like, guys, I can remember when someone had a good bit at an open mic night when you
Right.
started. It's like etched in my brain. And I remember one of his, and this was before anyone had done a joke about it. This is how old it was. America's Funniest Home Videos was like new.
Right.
And he used to say, and he used to make fun of how every fucking video was just a guy getting hit in the nuts. He goes, "This is pathetic. We're getting to the point where you're gonna watch that show, and one of the videos is gonna be like, okay, we have this Sabruder film." And he goes, "What John Kennedy doesn't know." He goes, "He thinks he's on his way to a luncheon." I still remember that. And I go, "That dude." He had a fucking killer bit like day 2 of comedy.
That is really funny.
I think he's a writer in L.A. now. Funny dude.
Yeah, well, that's what you can remember. I can remember guys who had great jokes that you never saw again, and you wondered, did they become writers or did they just quit? You know,
He didn't quit. It's weird.
A guy like that
yeah.
should be writing. I would have, that's
Yeah.
really funny.
I know there's only a couple guys that I've ever seen in my comedy career that to me were fucking amazing and quit.
Yeah, I tell you why you can't do that bit now at the Comedy Cellar. No one knows what the Zapruder film is.
Yeah, you'd have to.
I'm telling you, they don't,
wouldn't
right?
know. They wouldn't know.
They're too young. They don't
wouldn't know.
fucking know.
It's
But
not about
they
young.
should know.
It's not in the media. The name isn't in the media.
Right, don't you think they should know?
It's
Do we
so
have a right to be
annoying.
mad at them for not knowing that? Is it a generational
you
thing,
should
or
know. I
it's
bet-
the goddamn Zapruder film?
I bet if you called my wife right now, she wouldn't know what the Sabruder film
Really?
is. Yeah, because she's too smart. There's shit she just missed. Because you're so smart that you just fucking
But
miss
that's
shit.
like, but am I wrong in saying that's like not knowing? I don't know. That's a real basic. I guess
No
maybe
one's talking
yeah.
about it. It's just not. We're talking about it.
It's the
We're-
Kennedy assassination.
Dude, I'm surprised I know.
It'd be funny if they knew
I'm
it from the
dumb.
Artie Lang podcast. That's how I found out about the Zapruder film, Artie Quitter.
I found a lot of the fucking things that I know are from watching stand up growing up.
That bit is so well. That's true, but that bit is so good. You laugh at Zapruder film. You start to laugh.
It's a great word.
Oh yeah.
You guys ever see Otto and George?
Oh God.
yeah, yeah.
I've worked with him. I was
He would act it out.
The closer.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. And again, he said the puppet said the N-word a million times in that act. And I go, dude, is that going to cost you work? He goes, the puppet says it. I go, he goes, what do you think? I'm stupid? It's fucking brilliant. The goddamn puppet says it. And I could say and he goes, and I get to say nigger 80 times. I go, wait, is that like a thing you got away with? he thought that was his up thing. Like he got to say it. I said, wait a minute. So what do you mean? He goes, yeah, it's fun. It's inventing. I said, wait a minute. So the only thing you get out of it is you get to say nigger 80 times. That was how Otto thought. He's dead, but he died.
I know. It's sad, man.
I almost.
Did I ever?
I missed it. I was going to his wake. I was supposed to go to his wake. I was in L.A. I couldn't make it, and I felt bad. I wanted to go say, I was wondering if the puppet was there
He
too.
was a legend. We were talking. Dan, was it you and I were talking about how I was telling Dan that Dice Clay technically stole those poems from Otto and George,
Yeah, right.
And
Did steal them, right.
but I was saying to Dan, and Dan didn't agree with me. I'm curious what you think. I don't know. It was something my dad said that those were old poems that Dice didn't rewrite them. That they're old. Are those old poems?
Yeah, I would assume.
Or did Dice come
I
up
don't know.
with them?
I would assume Otto.
I didn't
write them.
disagree with you. You were just telling me the story.
You said that you no, you know what it was. Justin McKinney was on with us,
Right.
and he disagreed. He
Right.
said, "No, I never heard."
No, but it makes sense that Hickory Dickory Dock.
Hickory Dickory
No,
Dock,
it makes
he
sense
came
they
up
were
with that.
old. No, I don't think Otto came up with them either. I think they're old jokes.
Yeah, they're old jokes. But
Why,
Otto
you
came
find
up-
that hard to believe?
No, I believed it.
Right. Yeah, I
But McKinney didn't. He goes, no, those aren't old jokes. The idea of a dirty nursery rhyme was old, but he came up with his own.
the actual one.
dirty,
Well, no,
rewrote them.
I think like the one that is specific to Dice might be where I would believe that is Tree blind mice. Where the fuck are they going? That maybe he wrote that one. Maybe because that sounds like dice to me. But the other ones, remember that one?
Yeah.
Tree blind mice. Where
They
the
all
fuck are
sound
they
like
going?
dice when you think
Well,
about
the
it.
Hickory Dickory Dock. I don't know. That could be old. Woody Guthrie might have wrote that. Right after This Land Is Your Land.
Those are really similar to the Patrice bits where he's talking about sex.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of comics do that whole like, hey, the Spider-Man, you jerk off in your hand, you throw it in her face.
Right, all that stuff.
Were we talking about that too? Someone's known for stealing that?
Well, Amy does it in her act. Amy does it in her stand-up special. She talks about like the new sort of Dirty Sanchez and stuff. But I guess she made up stuff on her own, like her own things. But Patrice sort of made them famous though? Like and I mean he had an original bit about it, right?
I used to see Costello doing them at the Sue Costello at the Laugh Factory. Doing
okay.
Those.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know where she. Patrice might have done it before her, but I don't know. I have no idea.
What was the angle with Patrice? He just would say what they were, or.
Yeah, what was his angle? What was the joke? What was the punchline? He would act them
But the
out?
punchline might be he just says what they are.
Yeah.
Then, right? Okay.
I think he made up some of his own to add on, didn't he? Like
Right.
he had one that was. This the Spider-Man is the one where you like
Because that's what
flick
Amy.
your
That's what
fucking cum in
Amy's
her
doing.
face.
That's what Amy does. She's making up new ones, but she takes one from the audience.
This is a slight change of subject, but it's about dirty comedy. Because I remember the last time I was on your podcast, I told you that I was kind of sick of my fucking nice guy act, and I was
Right.
like, and I said I wanted to kind of change
Yeah.
and kind of do more observations and all that shit I was telling you. Well, last night I just put all my dirty and all my edgiest jokes like that I've written in the last 5 years in one set
Yeah.
and did them. And you know what's great about it? None of them come off dirty when you do all dirty. I was like, this is the greatest thing about being dirty is
Right.
I used to get to like an edgy joke and they'd be like, but if you just do fucking AIDS followed by faggot, followed by this, followed by
AIDS
that.
followed by faggot.
Like I'm just putting bullet
It's
points.
usually the other way around. Faggot followed by AIDS. No, I don't understand what you're saying. What?
I'm saying
Yeah.
if you do
So wait, you tried this the other night? You went all dirty
Last
for the
night I
first
did it.
time? That's sort of like
Dude,
Dylan, that's like Dylan plugging in. That's some big news.
Well, I used to be a dirtier comedian when I started. There were times where
it went
like
with the leather jacket.
yeah, I guess it did.
Well, like what do you mean? Like because you weren't as good at writing? You mean?
No, I think when you're younger, like that's what that you don't have as much to talk about. So it was a lot. It was just sex with this girl. Then I did this. Everything was like there was a lot of dirty
Enough
subjects.
subject matter, but not saying fuck or cum.
No, I would
Yeah.
say fuck. There'd be cum. I remember there was a time where like I didn't want if I had a girlfriend, I didn't want her mom to come and see my set because I was
Right.
dirty. It would be embarrassing if like I liked this girl and I'm a
God, I
fucking
would
dirty
I
comedian.
I never want my girl's mother to say, "Oh my God, fucking that questionnaire." But so what happened? So you said
I had a really good set. I'm saying that when I get to if you do all just dirty,
right.
nothing makes them go, oh, because it's just all your jokes are that way.
So you're
like they're
saying-
gonna have to all every joke for them to not like you. is
So you're
what I'm
saying you like
I
like
liked
doing it?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do it again?
Yeah, I think so. I like it. I kind of miss just being fucking.
I don't even know if there is such thing as dirty anymore. I think audiences are just happy if you're politically correct.
Yeah, that's
like they don't give a shit if you're talking about fucking.
I
But
was
if you're
being
like,
politically incorrect
Oh,
and
wait,
dirty.
oh, really?
Well, definitely
Yeah.
sex doesn't matter to him at
Sex,
all.
no.
Yeah, no. But racial shit, you gotta really lay out the context because usually I don't listen to it. That's a no-no.
Politics,
and, gay
like-
stuff, like gay talking about gay people, in any way, But what'd you say you were talking about? You said you were talking about. You said you.
No, I
were you
just
exaggerating.
No, I just did my Vegas
Right.
bit where I call the girl call my wife from the bachelor party.
All right, yeah.
You don't sound like yourself. Like
Well, that's just a great
It's
joke.
a good
though.
joke,
You
but
did that
they were all good jokes. But they all I remember when I did Access TV.
You did that on Comedy Central, that joke, right?
That's
Yeah,
a great
probably.
joke.
It's a great joke.
Yeah.
No, I saw it on Comedy Central.
Yeah,
That's why.
but that's what's good about Access is that live show is I pick out all the jokes that I
whatever you
can't
want.
do.
Yeah.
And but one of the reasons why I kind of made that move last night, I don't think doing these late night television shows help your career at all anymore. What does is doing an hour special and people and you building fans off of them seeing your special.
Right.
Okay. So you can do whatever you want on a special. Like when I started thinking like Chris Rock, some of these guys that have the edgier acts.
Yeah.
They never came on Letterman and did 5 minutes of clean stand up. They always did the longer
When you
things.
think about it, Rock, I can't think of Rock doing a set on a talk show. Yeah.
He never did. Chappelle has a little bit. Like I think Chappelle.
Well, because when he was really young, because he
did
started at
Letterman.
18,
Right.
you know, when he would do it then, he was clean.
I don't think he was Chappelle wasn't like an edgy act. He had a lot of likable material.
Yeah, especially when he was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. But like Bill Burr is edgy, but like when he would still do Lettermans and shit like that, he would just clean it up for them. And then you don't really see him on those shows anymore. And now he's bigger than he's ever been.
You don't, because you don't have the business has changed. You don't have to do those shows anymore to get big. You know,
Right.
I told you I was, you know, a couple years ago. I had when my second book was out. Was on in L.A. doing like a book tour, and I was doing Conan. And I was, you know, pacing around the back, going over what I was going to say with Frank, the segment producer. And there was one of the other guests was Jennifer Lawrence. She was the first guest, and all her agents were there. And one of the young assistants for her age, like a 24-year-old kid, was a fan of mine. He came up and said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he goes, "You look nervous." I go, "Well, I'm just going over my set." And he goes, "You know, these shows don't matter that much anymore." I'm like, that's what I want to hear right now. I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you know," he goes, "You know, Conan, he gets 800,000 people a night watch this show. It's on TBS." And I'm like, "Why are you telling me this right now?" He goes, "No, I'm a fan of yours. I'm trying to, like, you know, I know that you sort of." You know, don't like to go into the new technical side of the business. He goes, but for instance, he goes, killing on this show tonight would not be as important as getting Ashton Kutcher to tweet about your book. That's what he said. And I said, you may be right, but you're telling me at the wrong time. But that was in my head. And I went out, you know, and I did great. And I was happy. But then in the car on the way back to the fucking hotel, that got in my head. I said, God, the depression that hit me was like, it is meaningless. And now I'm thinking, should I call that kid and see if he knows Ashton Kutcher?
You know what though? At the same time, that's when you have good sets. Like people always say, if you want to not be nervous, minimize it.
Right.
And,
well, in all fair, I think I would have had a good set whether he told me that or not. But
no, but I mean,
No, you're
it
right.
makes you really not nervous if you go, who gives a fuck?
yeah, but that's the point. I still
Not gonna
gave
do
a
it.
fuck.
Oh, you still gave a shit.
I said,
But
you're annoying me and I still care about the set. Because you're not going to, because we grew up where that was everything. Killing on, you know, Carson and Letterman you can't get that out of my head in 30 seconds right now. Like, you know, you might be right, and he was right, I guess. He said, you know, Kushner has 10 million Twitter followers and there's 800,000 people. I go, okay, I get it.
Don't you want to have a killer reel when you die that they show?
What do you mean?
When you die, they're going to show something.
Well,
They're going to show clips. Don't you want to have like good ones?
It's funny
if they tribute you.
Do you remember at the beginning of my sets at the theaters, I'd play that reel tape of me?
Yeah.
I never used that. Timmy just sent it to me, and I'm curious. You know, it's funny you bring that up. I want to show it to you. I'm curious if you think I should use it again because I'm thinking
The same one, or are you going to
It's the
update
same,
it with some
but I don't
newer
have
things?
any. I gotta get that stuff. I gotta get that shit to update it. I don't have all the new shit. Like so, I'm thinking of just using this. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe I want to ask you if you think I should use it
At shows or in
at
or
a
in
show
general?
before I go up, like in a theater. Because
Before
it
were-
really got the crowd going. It
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and
I think it's good if it's tight and it's not really long.
well, about, you know, let's take. I want to take a break anyway. It's just 15 minutes we've been talking. I'll let's you know, actually I'll show you that and we'll take a break. We'll come back.
All right. Do you want us to chime in or not? Chime
Yeah,
in?
no, I'll go to you. I'll- Dave,
Yo.
so Artie, thanks for doing this, brother.
Yeah, man.
All right, we'll get started in just a second here. All right, we're back. Artie Quitter podcast. Ryan Reese, Joe Matarese, two of my buddies, great comics, on the phone now to talk about, you know, the World Series and whatever else, and I hope about how much of an asshole A-Rod is, especially now that he's on TV. I mean, honestly, I just can't. If A-Rod gets this job, I'm not watching baseball ever again. I can't deal with his bullshit. And I know David Wells feels the same way. The great David Wells, former Yankee pitcher, perfect game, the whole one of my favorite people on the planet. David, what's up?
Nothing, man. Just chilling in Dago, living the dream.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you are. I mean, I would assume your life is great. I mean, you got, major league money, World Series ring, San Diego. Do you ever get out of a pair of shorts, or you just what's your life like?
Not often. I'm in shorts pretty much 24/7, unless unless I got to go do a gala or I just got honored and elected in my high school Hall of Fame, so I had to wear a suit for that.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah, so I dress up occasionally. I got a lot of cobwebs on my suits and ties. So,
but don't
half
you
the
think
time they don't fit? They're too small now because I've gained.
Don't you think? Well, listen, I would if I were you, I'd be 800 pounds right now. Do you feel though, if you showed up at your high school in just shorts, they would have said, okay, fine, we'll let you go in the Hall of Fame anyway? I mean, don't you think you didn't?
No, I
have to?
could have.
Yeah, right.
It's just respect,
Now, do you
just a respect level.
do you smoke weed at the high school Hall of Fame thing?
No, you can't do that. Too many kids around, man.
Oh, I hear you, but maybe you could buy it from them nowadays. Some of these kids got great stuff.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, but it's funny because I'm watching the MSNBC and they're doing all this Oscar Robinson, Nick Lachey, and that one lady doing campaigning for legalizing marijuana and all that. So just look at that. They should legalize it. There's no question about it. They should do it.
Yeah, California, where you live, it basically is, right? I mean, you just got to...
Well, it kind of started out here, didn't it? And now that we can't get it legalized, but 5 other states can.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Well,
get our ass out of debt is what it's going to get.
But all you got to do is go in and say, look, my eye hurts, and you'll get weed, right? I mean, isn't that the case?
It's pretty much probably that simple, yeah. But, to me, I don't understand why they just don't legalize it, regulate it, treat it like anything else, like alcohol. If you find some testing. If you're driving under the influence, the same as a DUI, treat it all that, but get our ass out of debt, Well,
do you
think... Get a prohibition. They legalize alcohol, and then look what happened. I'd rather see people smoke than drink.
Oh, listen, you're right. It's probably better for you. Now, what about, legalize pot? Do you think they should legalize gay sex?
No, man, that's why there's a dick and a puss. they fit perfectly. Well, sometimes there's a hot dog in the hallway, you never know.
They do. Actually, I was just going to say that. I mean, of course, nothing against our homosexual brothers and sisters. They do what they want. But when you put your dick in a pussy, David, don't you go, my God, the design is perfect, right?
It feels good. If you're on the other end of 2 nuts hanging down and you're in that hole, it just doesn't feel the same, I guess.
You're right. I mean, obviously,
I wouldn't think. I would hate to go that route, but it's not my. Hey, I'm not against it. Hey,
of course not.
More power to them.
Yeah.
If that's what they want. I just don't. I don't like being around it, but just keep it indoors, and I don't have a problem.
Now, do you have a problem with interracial gay sex?
Interracial gay sex?
Yeah, that's my one issue. As long as it's the same race, I don't care.
No, you know what? People love each other for who they are, what they are, and if 2 guys love each other, God bless them.
Okay.
If 2 women love each other, God bless them. I don't care what race or you are. It's just I'm not a hater, dude. I'm not a racist.
You're not. Of course you're not. You're clearly a good guy. I mean,
no, I like all walks of life. I don't care what you do. It just don't promote it on me if you're doing that, and we'll be fine. I got friends that are gay. I'm friends with them, but they know where I stand.
Who are your friends that are gay? Are they on the Mets?
No. But
any major leaguers? No,
it's just something that's it's part of our life, and we got to deal with it. If you don't like it, I mean, obviously there's antis, but like I said, I don't promote it, but. You know what? I'm not going to discriminate it.
No, you're a good man. I mean, clearly, the world should think like you. Now, when you say you have gay friends, do you mean baseball players or just,
No, just friends.
Right, just friends. What do you think about A-Rod on TV, man? I mean, he just really aggravated the shit out of me. I mean, do you see his analogy was in 2009, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys rocked the house. That's the reason they won the game. Did you hear him say that?
No, I didn't. But he's an idiot for saying it like that. But nobody wins the game except for the players.
Right.
Because they're the one throwing, hitting, making the plays. You know, it's just, unless he's one of those guys that thinks that, you know, is superstitious. Oh my gosh, there's got to be a hot blonde sitting in row 13, seat 3, you know, aisle 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And if she's not there, we're going to lose. You know, it's just like saying something like that. But no, I mean, look at all the things that he's been through. I mean, he's a hell of a ball player, yeah, but he cheated, yes. But now all of a sudden he's an expert analyst? No. Because
I agree.
How can you, because what are his qualifications now? If he cheated the game and he hit all these home runs and made it powerful, so, you know, and then he's going to analyze the guy's swing and all that, yeah, he can swing good. He knows the game, but but how much of his intel is legit and how much of it is tainted? You know?
I agree. I really resent when he gives analogies about players, because it's like, fuck you. Who are you? You use steroids. You cheated. How do you know what the fuck is going on?
But he's still a student of the game. He's played the game his whole life, and so basically the only thing he knows how to do, like a lot of us. Right. But to me, it's like when you've cheated the game so badly and lied about it. I mean, obviously you're going to lie until you get caught. And at least, you know, you got to commend him on that, and you know, it's something that everybody would do. Sure. But you know, it's just something that, you know, I'm not going to go out there and start making judgment on stuff if I cheated the game. But is he got valid stuff? Yeah. But just when you look at him and you've known him for a long time, it's just like you see how involved he is. As he shakes his head a lot, like he's really serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
And all that, and that bothers me too.
Yeah.
Instead of like, just be yourself. Don't be somebody that you're not. Just, you know.
He's so rehearsed. He's so rehearsed. Listen, I got the clip. You got to hear this clip. This is him before one of the World Series games talking about Jay-Z and Alicia Keys being the reason they won.
We were feeling pretty good, Kevin. We had a great team in 2009, and we were a confident bunch. Pete, every time we took the field, we thought we were the better team, and we were going to win that game. And I'm sure the Mets feel that way, or else they should feel that way. Right. But one great thing that happened for us in 2009 was we had Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. They came in and rocked the house in Yankee Stadium. They got us amped up. They got us excited. Kevin, we won the game, and we were able to go to Philly 1-1.
Oh, I mean, does that just make you sick?
It's like
that's stupid.
Sounds like when a hot girl talks. You're
They
just
rocked
like,
the
"Please stop."
house. Yeah, so what? What, they rocked the house? How'd they rock the house? They showed up. Did he sing? Did she sing?
They sang, I guess, yeah.
Oh, so they did sing. I thought they were just spectators.
Oh, maybe. No, yeah, I guess they came in but I guess they lip sync a song, you know.
Oh, well, whatever. I mean, that doesn't. You know what pumps me up is Disturbed, Slipknot, Metallica.
Yeah.
That's what pumped me up before a game. Van Halen.
I agree with you.
You know, a little Seven Dust in there. You know, that gets my blood flowing, and I want to take them out when I listen to shit like that.
Do you like any hip hop? Do you like any hip hop at all?
I'm not really big on it. I mean, there's some songs that I like, but other than that, forget it. I mean, geez, I was at SNL 40, and I went up to Jay-Z, and he thought I was Kurt Schilling. He asked me about the bloody sock. I'm like, well, let's step back. Hold on. Time out. Well, Jay-Z, Dave Wells with the Yankees.
Well, you know what you should have said?
God, he goes, my bad. And I felt bad for him because, you know, it was funny because I had to step back. I said, let's start over. But David Cohn, he tweeted it out. I told him, and he thought it was so funny. He tweeted it out. Yeah. The next day, we're like Twitter stars, man. It was like so many people are going, you should have said, hey, I'm sorry, Kanye. I mean, Jay-Z or something like that. So, I mean, it was hysterical.
Yeah.
How funny it was.
You should have said I'm a big fan of yours, Mr. Mays.
Exactly, or Hank Aaron or something like that. But it was just funny. He made a mistake, no big deal. But he was very nice. I mean, he was nice to me, and you know, and Beyonce is just stunning. I mean, I took my wife up and I said, hey, I gotta introduce you to my wife before. If I don't do it, she's gonna kick me right in the nuts.
Right.
And Beyonce goes, oh God, we don't want that. And I said, yeah, we don't want that. So here's my wife. Take her.
Nice. Now, on the road, did you have a lot of black pussy?
No.
No,
Look at you. Fish ain't biting today, Artie. Fish
I
ain't
know. I'm
biting.
just saying. Listen. You were a big star. Maybe you just, for the hell of it, you change it up one night in Milwaukee or something. I don't know.
In Milwaukee. All places Milwaukee, huh?
Now Beyonce. Yeah, she looks good in person, huh?
Yeah, you know what? She's really nice. She's stunning. She is. She's a looker, that's for sure. I guess you don't like interracial relationships, so you'd never go there, right?
Well, no, listen, I have. I mean, but it cost me like $100 every time.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You don't have to hear the rap afterwards. You know,
Literally the rap.
there you go. You're a smart man. You don't buy the aggravation. You just buy the fun, the satisfaction.
Exactly. You pay them, as Charlie Sheen said, you don't pay them to come, you pay them to leave, right?
Exactly. Smart. Guys are smart.
Okay,
Look at all these. You think Johnny Carson wish he would have done that?
Oh, absolutely.
Back in the day, instead of losing $280 million.
Oh, I agree. Absolutely. You got to do math. $280 million. Forget it. Know how many blowjobs $280 million buys you outside the Lincoln Tunnel?
Inlet, a lifetime supply.
Yeah, and you can get and it can be a chick too for that kind of money.
That's right.
Now what?
Now you might get a finger in the ass. Who knows?
David Wells, former Yankee, perfect game. Now, wait a minute. Now, Dave, let's talk about the Mets' performance. What about Matt Harvey? Yeah, his manager, okay? Where's the respect? Look would you ever do this to Joe Torre? His manager says, you're ready to come out of the game. He gets in his manager's face, screams at him, I'm not fucking coming out. And the manager gives in, and then he goes out and blows the fucking game. Could you imagine saying that to Joe Torre?
I love it.
You do?
I love that because you know what? And I was going to tweet it out because David Cohn was here in San Diego with me. We were watching the game, and I was going to tweet it out, but I forgot what year. I don't know if it was 2003 or 2002.
Right.
When we beat Boston, when Aaron Boone hit the home run.
It was 2003.
But when Grady Little kept Pedro Martinez in,
right,
for the longest time, he didn't take him out, and then that's kind of the same scenario. I would have done the same thing. I'm not coming out of this game. There's no way you're taking me out of this game. And you know what? And I kudos to Harvey for doing that because you know what? He felt it. He was the best man for the job because Familia, he hadn't done crap the whole time. He's been giving up the booty.
Yeah, he sucks.
So,
I mean, they called him the Mets version of Rivera. Give me a break.
Right. Well, that to me is just something. He's the best guy for the job. He's been cruising all that. I want to finish what I started. So yeah, I mean, high five to Harvey for pleading his case. But then when it doesn't happen, this has been where you hear all the rap, and then Terry Collins is going to get bombarded, and the pitching coach, there's going to get bombarded, and it's like, you know what? You made it that you trusted your guy, stick to your guns, and that's it. Now, Joe Torre, he'd just say, see ya, and he would say, no, that's it. And you can MF him all you want and do that, but he's like, no, Mariano's my guy. I'm going to do that. So, he got talked out of it. I've talked a few coaches out of doing that before in my career, so you just got to plead your case and be very adamant about it. And, but it didn't work out. But hey, at least you tried, and I'm all for it. I think that was a great call.
Don't you think they should have taken him out after the walk that he gave up right as the first batter?
Well, that right there after the walk, they get his ass out of there because now he can't get the loss.
Right.
So he's going to get a no decision, at best, but he's not going to get the loss. So. Give him one guy. That's basically what our manager would do. You give him one hitter. If you don't get him out, but I don't like the fact that he threw a 3-2 curveball. To me, that's the worst pitch in baseball. You can't throw a 3-2 because the percentage on that is very low, and it's not. Throw a fastball down in the zone and see what happens. Challenge the damn guy. Don't be trying to trick him with a 3-2 curveball. That's what I hate about the game today because you see all these guys who do 95 plus, and they trick you with 3-2 curveballs. Throw a sack,
they're getting
throw
cute.
it down in the zone,
right,
and get them to roll it over because they're looking fastball anyways. Throw it down and away. Try to get them to roll it over for a ground ball. But don't throw a 3-2 curveball. I just was never a guy that liked to walk anybody. and I see this crap, and it drives me absolutely nuts.
Well, that brings me the Royals catcher, who I believe got the MVP, can't speak a word of English. They were interviewing him. What would you do if did you ever have a catcher who spoke no English? Like, how would you? What would you do? Would you learn Spanish in that case, or would you insist on him learning English?
No, I'm pretty fortunate that I've always had guys that taught me that they're Latin that spoke English pretty good. I mean, not great, but
so they knew their
no.
place. They knew they had.
They understand.
Yeah, right. They understand. Sure.
They all understand English until they get in trouble. Then it's no comprende. So they have to understand the thing. I mean, I think now, then they become Bible thumpers or something when they get in trouble. Who knows?
No comprende. Yeah. What about Spanish?
But
Now, did you ever get in a situation with a Spanish chick on the road where you had to say where she had to say no comprende? She was,
no comprende.
To the cops, no comprende.
No, I mean that to me, it's that, and I feel bad because a lot of these Latin kids, they don't, all they know is baseball. They don't have any other skill. And there's a lot of Americans too that are in the same boat, but at least we speak American, and you're in America, so you got to kind of learn the language, wouldn't you think?
Agreed. So you're for Donald Trump. You like his stuff. I mean, Trump says the same thing.
I love it.
Yeah, of course.
What? He's basically like me and all that. He says what's on his mind. He says the things that everyone's afraid to say.
Absolutely.
And that's why. And that's basically. And there's a lot of people out there who are just gutless that, speak your mind. So if you're wrong, apologize. I'm not afraid of saying I'm sorry if I'm wrong.
Of course.
But you know what? If I feel that I'm right, I'm sticking to my guns, and that's probably why I was on 9 frickin' teams because I spoke my mind too much, and I didn't take any shit. I'm not going to take any shit from anybody. I'm going to speak my mind. If I'm wrong, I apologize. If I fine me, I'll pay the fine, whatever it may be. But you know what? You got to grow a sack sometime in life, and you can't be a yes man. So, whatever. That's the only way you're going to learn.
So if you
pull by the horn.
If you were going to speak to a bunch of Latin kids who were getting into baseball as a major leaguer, you would say learn how to speak American.
I would say, they got guys over there now. A lot of major league teams have minor league system where they have camps and stuff down there. So yeah, send them to school. At least give them that opportunity if they're going to sign, because the majority of players come out of Latin America because they're great ball players. I mean, that's all they do.
Right.
But educate them, give them a sense, give them English classes, whatever. I mean, we try to speak Spanish. I felt miserably in high school speaking Spanish. I just know all the dirty words. So
right.
But to me,
on the road,
get by a little bit. But their lingo's a little bit faster. Like in Spanish, like Mexican, they don't speak as quick as like Puerto Rican or Dominican or something like that. They speak really fast dialect.
They do. You're right. Very, very quick. Well, I mean, like on the road, like I said with women, did you ever have to learn certain sentences, like how far to the clinic or?
No, you just point, Artie. You just point.
You point to the clinic.
Just point to the spot where you want to go to, or you want it to go to.
Well,
there's no need to talk in those situations. Right. You just point. You get the gist. If she's in there, you know what's going on.
I agree with you. Now,
how far can
did you get fined?
How far can you go? How much can you get away with? Is what you're saying.
Right. You want to get away with a lot of it. I mean, if you learn the language, you have an upper hand.
Just make sure it's consensual.
What is the word for abortion in Spanish?
I have no idea, and I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
Neither do I. How about Japanese?
Nagasaki.
Do you? Well, that did
that's wrong hole. That means wrong hole, I think.
People do equate that with killing. That's true, Nagasaki. What?
I thought you were going to say there is no Spanish word for abortion.
Clearly. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, me either.
There's no. There's no Spanish word for rent. What now?
Everyone's got their issues.
Of course, we all do. We're all the same. We're all the same. That's your message, right, to the kids? We're all the same. All right.
Oh, no.
We'll move on from
Some
that.
people have a chance in life.
I agree with you. Ryan Reese, Ryan, any questions for David Wells?
I'm learning so much about life right now.
Yeah,
It's kinda-
Again, Ryan's a comic, and we're all fans. We just do. Were you fined a lot as a player? You mentioned fines. Did you get a lot of fines?
Yeah, you did. I mean, I did. But
For
a
what?
lot of guys, just like Joe Torre, he had a thing. If you missed the anthem, it was $100.
Oh, really?
And then when you play Canada, when you play Toronto or a Canadian or Montreal, if you missed them both, it was $200. So, and that's understandable because you should be up on the front step.
I would think
And I
Canadian would be
understood-
only 50, right?
But sometimes you miss them both, and then it's $200. You pay like that, or you miss a bus, you miss a flight. I've done that a few times.
You missed flights. My God! So what happened? Did you ever get to the? When you weren't pitching, did you ever miss a game?
No, I never missed a game. It's just I just missed a flight or the bus, and so they'll find you there. They'll find you for
Ugh.
do something stupid, embarrass the team. They'll find you that way. I mean, they're not huge
Uh,
fines. It's like when I wore the Babe Ruth hat. in
Right, I
97.
remember that. I do. That was great.
Okay, he fined me $2,500
Holy
for wearing the hat.
Man.
He told me not to wear it, and I said, "The hell I ain't! I'm wearing this sucker. This is history right here."
That's
So
right.
I ended up wearing it, and I got fined $2,500. And was I mad? Yeah, I was. But I just thought it was really shallow because of the fact that, this is history. And he said it wasn't. Joe said it wasn't part of the required uniform. Well, I had an NY on it. It was a different hat.
No,
but
it looked. I mean,
still
yeah,
had
look,
NY, but
Yeah.
it was Babe Ruth's hat. And of all people, I thought who would understand that would have been Joe, because the dude is a phenomenal baseball player. I mean, he should be in the Hall of Fame for a player, but he's in as a manager, which is great. But to me, it's just something that I thought was cool. He didn't, and maybe was he picking on me? I thought so, but it was what. And I was making a lot of money, so $2,500 didn't mean crap to me.
no, it's nothing. Yeah, my God, that's
Now, hell yeah, it's $2,500 goes a long way.
Is that true? I mean, you're a wealthy man, right?
Have a $2,500 is a lot of money when you're retired, dude.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, we're retired, but you've got quite a bit of money. I mean, can I take a guess at your net worth?
We already did this. Already turn the page.
Okay, I was going to do it for the new subscribers. Now, baby,
They'll have their chance of making millions.
you brought up a good point about being on the road. Babe Ruth is famous. So one of his roommates on the road said that Babe would get drunk and come in the room with a hooker, and while the roommate was in the shower, he would feel a warm stream on his back, and he'd turn around, and Babe Ruth would be urinating on his back with a hooker on his arm, and the hooker would be laughing. And his roommate said, "Oh God, the Babe thought that was so funny." Did you ever
It's
do
hard
that?
to say no to. No, I've never peed on a guy's back. Sorry.
Did you ever? Were you ever on the other end of it?
No, because it would be a bad situation.
Say A-Rod. Say you turned around and A-Rod was peeing on your back.
Oh, it'd be the end of A-Rod. If you were peeing on my back, it'd be the end of Artie.
No, I would never do it. Is the point? But A-Rod, say A-Rod comes in with Kate Hudson on his arm, and you turn around and they're both peeing on your back.
Well, I knock him the fuck out and take hers.
That is the right answer.
Yeah. So that's what would happen. No,
Okay.
so it would. No, she's an exception.
Yeah, well, she was hot. Would that piss you off when he was fucking her?
I told her brother, don't do it.
Her brother?
Yeah, her brother Oliver. I told him. I said, tell her don't do it. Don't do it.
Oliver Hudson. Oh yeah, what you were talking? You said don't fuck. You said don't fuck A-Rod.
No, I said don't date him.
Don't date him.
Don't
yeah.
do it.
Right. Why? I mean, why were you upset about that?
I wasn't upset. I just said don't do it. It just reaction. Don't do it.
Right. No, listen. I agree with you. I agree.
There was nothing behind it. I just don't do it. It's failure.
What do you think
Just
of
set up
A-Rod?
some failure.
Do you think A-Rod puts something in those lips, those pillowy pink lips? They're very pink and they're very pillowy, very thick.
I think you're jealous. He has better DSLs than you do.
What's a DSL?
Dick sucking lips.
Never heard of
That's one thing he can have.
Come on, man. Your comedians know that, right?
What does that mean?
Yeah,
DSL.
no, never heard
That's
of
that's
Comedians
like a
know that.
FedEx
They should
company.
know it.
So
They should
dick,
know
that's
it.
the thing. Dick sucking lips. So you'd say that about
Yeah,
broads.
there's a lot of slang out there, Artie. There's a lot of slang. But yeah, to me, no, he's Cuban, man. A lot of
Is he
a lot of
Cuban? I thought
Cubans
he's.
have-
What is he? Cuban or Puerto Rican? A-Rod.
I think he's Cuban.
Oh, he is. Okay, yeah. Well, there's
Yeah.
a lot of DSLs over there in both sexes. I agree.
Well, ever.
Castro had
I mean,
DSL.
well, we're unfortunate. We got to put shit in our lips to build them up. We're not that fortunate to have full lips. Occasionally, you might find a white chick with full lips, but without injecting them. Now, let me ask you: you think Angelina Jolie has? Do you think she does something with her lips?
She's got great DSLs, but I think they're
Are
natural.
they real? Or are they been tainted?
I think they're natural. I do, because when she was younger, she had them. But maybe you're right. I don't know. She's had a lot of work done. That's a good point.
Right. I just watched Midnight Cowboy the other night. Great
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
And you can look at John Voight when he was younger.
He had DSLs.
And you look at his lips. So you see it. So yeah, hers are natural.
Yeah, Midnight Cowboy, a classic movie. A-Rod's Dominican. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, listen, do you have any? Do you ever fuck a famous chick? I mean, we're
Are
talking.
you that bored?
Well, kinda, yeah. I mean, yeah. You're a very famous Yankee. When you pitched a perfect game. Did you ever fuck? I don't know, Sarah Michelle
Yeah.
Parker.
You got to understand, I'm married, and if these things come out, if I was to say yes or no, then all hell breaks loose.
So that's a yes then.
I never said yes.
Okay. All right.
Come on, man. I was the big dude.
I know.
I had the good rap.
I know, but I'm just trying to think of your reputation. But the only DSLs we mentioned was A-Rods. I want to try to get it over to abroad here.
No, you mentioned them,
I'm
not
sorry.
me.
You're right. I'll take the hit on that. So
I just told you what DSL means.
right, and I appreciate that. I want to know all the acronyms.
You've never heard that terminology ever?
No, I never heard that.
Oh
No,
my
Never.
God!
I've heard of
None of you guys have heard it?
No.
Nope.
No,
And you're comedians?
I've heard of a DSA.
How old are you guys? Are you like 22, 23 years old?
No, what about a DSA? Have you heard of a DSA?
No.
Dick swallowing ass.
No.
I'm sorry. Okay, because I heard A-Rod had that as well.
I can't claim that one. Sorry, buddy.
Dick swallowing ass. It's a big one. That's big in Jersey.
That's dark side stuff. Right
That is
there.
the dark.
That's when you're out of it and you don't know what the hell you're doing.
So the Mets now are they going to be back next year? Was this a fluke? Let's end on a good sort of baseball.
No. Actually, they I think they're legit. They're gonna stick around because they're pitching. It always starts with pitching. But the thing is that I have a hard time watching guys who throw 95 plus, and then all of a sudden they're tinkering with curveballs 3-2. When you got 95 plus, if I had 95 plus for the whole game, I wouldn't mess around with a curveball in a low percentage count.
Right.
So to me, it's like, even when I was throwing 87, I wouldn't throw a 3-2 curveball. Occasionally, if there's a base open or I'm not going to lose the game or something like that. Now, if it's Mo Vaughn against me, I'm throwing him a 3-2 curveball because I couldn't get the son of a gun out.
Right.
The guy he was my nemesis.
He hit you like crazy.
Oh, my God. I threw the kitchen sink at him, and he hit it. So
Yeah.
I told him, if there's a base open, I'm either going to walk you or I'm going to hit you. and he's like, why? And I'm like, because I can't get you out. So, I confess that he's the man. So, which was great. And Mo's an awesome dude. But, to me, it's like when you got on the game on the line and you got something like that, go with your best pitch. Pitch your game. And a lot of these guys, especially, a lot of them when they get in trouble, they either get taken out or they're looking in the dugout because they know they got the 100 rule pitch. So they're trying to do everything they can. So that's why I think the game is getting a little hung up on that. But their pitching is so damn good, and all they got to do is just get a couple key elements and they're going to stick around for a long time. You never know. You might see another Subway.
Yeah, what on the
If the
subway?
Yankees can get their act together.
Oh, but I'm saying, as far as what about the subway and DSLs? Is that ever again?
Depends on where you're taking the Subway to.
Well, on the subway you get a lot of DSAs more so than DSLs.
You wanted to end on a baseball thing, and you're going right back to the DSLs. You're confusing the shit out of me, Artie. I don't.
Listen, you're a very knowledgeable guy about a lot of things, and we're trying to just. I mean, listen, this the Mets. A lot of people had a lot of different opinions, but I think you've summarized the team in a good way as an expert can. You told us your real feelings about A-Rod, and when I look at him, I'm just going to think DSL now. I can't stop thinking that. And you think Kate Hudson ever put on a fake dick that he sucked? I mean, you don't want to waste DSLs if you have DS. What? Say it again.
I said that is open for discussion. No.
If you walked in, like say you're on the road with A-Rod and
I don't know. Do you compare him to Marv Albert?
Well, I don't think you think he bit her back.
I don't know.
Well, that's what Marv Albert did. I think he bit the woman's back.
I'm going to go on a whim and say no.
But if you walked in on A-Rod and Kate Hudson and she had a big fake dick strapped on and he was sucking it, what would you do? Would you report that?
No, I just get the pom-poms and root her on.
I'd get the pom-poms. Well, this is
no, but she's moved on to bigger, better things. So
yeah,
we'll leave Kate out of it. She's harmless in all this.
Well, she's got like a magic vagina. Her vagina got Owen Wilson to try to kill himself. Your thoughts?
God bless her.
All right,
I'm jealous.
Me too. I'd love to get him to kill himself.
She is one of the hotties of all time.
There you go. Well, you could have got her, my friend. Fuck A-Rod. You could have got her.
I wish.
You might be a little too. I know her though, man. You might be a little too pale, if you know what I'm talking about.
No, she's she's good. I like her acting, and she's got a great personality.
What's your favorite Kate Hudson role? How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
No.
How about How to Lose a Pennant in 10 Days?
How to Lose a Pennant in 10 Days. No, I like her. I like everything she does, to be honest with you.
I like her. Anything she does with Matthew McConaughey, I DVR. Your thoughts on that?
What is it, Fool's Gold or?
Yeah, oh, that's great stuff.
Look at her bikini. She's got a hot body, dude.
What about his body, though, McConaughey?
In the story? No. No, here you go. You're going to the dark side again.
He's talking about DSL. All right. Well, listen, this has probably been the best interview in the history of Major League Baseball. What are you going to do? Any plug? Where can we see you next? You doing any? You going to at any events? Any charity?
No, I just charity event. I just did last Tuesday. I had my event that I put on, and now I'm just going to be doing because Dave Cohn's being honored on the 12th in New York for Safe at Home Foundation, Joe Torre's event.
Great.
So I'm going to come in for that and watch my buddy get honored.
Oh, that's great.
That's about it. And then I'm going hunting. Then I'm going to my ranch and going hunting.
I heard you were hosting the DSL Awards.
Yeah. You know what? You win. You win. We'll give you a nice big, gnarly lips of a trophy. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with them. Your DSL, you can FedEx it everywhere you want, and you'll have them. We'll make sure they open.
Jesus Christ! Well, listen, I love this interview. Please, the next time you're in town, try to come in live. But is it okay if we talk to you again the next time?
Well, I don't know where the hell. You in New York? You in LA? Where the hell are you?
I'm in New York.
No, okay. Yeah, I'll be in New York for that with Dave. I'm just coming in for a couple days and then going to my ranch in Michigan. So
come by, man. Come by and hang out.
If I got the time, Artie, you know I will.
All right, man. I'll get you laid, man. I'll get your pipes cleaned. You and Cone.
I got Mama coming. I got Mama coming in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, X-nay on the pipes.
You don't give a shit, do you? You're just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna get you laid, even with your wife standing right there.
No.
Hey, Nina, I'm gonna get Dave laid right in front of you. How about that?
Yeah, you know what? I'll stop. I apologize. I don't want to hurt the marriage.
You're not going to hurt it.
But I love you. I thank you for coming on. You're one of my favorite people of all time, and we'll talk to you again. I appreciate all this, David. Okay.
I enjoy every time, man. You're funny. You crack me up.
You're the best, brother.
I don't give a shit what anyone says about you. You're all right in my book.
Thank you, my friend. That's probably the best thing anyone's ever said to me. And you be well. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Take care. See you guys.
Take care of yourself.
All right.
The great David Wells. That is just, I absolutely love talking about that.
DSL.
Yeah, I mean, think about that.
DSL will
Dick sucking lip. When he said dick sucking lips, I almost threw up my colon.
DSL will take care of your package.
I always thought David Well was he had a very Artie Lang style.
Well, now we know for sure. Oh, that is great. Speak American. That's his thing. Speak American. If you're here.
Wasn't it like a known thing that he was hungover when he pitched?
Yes,
the
he
perfect
pitched
game?
the perfect game hungover.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I remember.
Absolutely. One of the coolest guys ever.
I always liked Wells.
All right. Well, it's been a fun show. Thank you, David Wells. Ryan, Joe, thanks so much, guys. What we got? Ryan, what do you got coming up?
Treehouse Comedy Club, November 28th.
Nice. All right, and look for Ryan at some of my gigs, too, and a good guy. I'll be back on the show soon. Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Anytime. And Joe, what's up?
Hey, come and see me this week. I'll be at the Parks Casino tomorrow night, Wednesday, November 4th. That's out in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. And then Friday the 6th, I'll be with Bill Burr at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. Come to that and follow me on Twitter.
That's right.
At the Joe Matarese.
Joe's going to push the Burr gig over the top. A couple of seats in the 18,000th row there. But thanks, Joe. As always, great job. Filato, thank you. And Gerald, you better be telling the fucking truth, dude. We're coming for you.